Did you find the video useful? Are you all following that?
Screen sharing stop.
I mean, the do's are the don'ts. But you'll be surprised, but it does happen in many of our clubs. All because they think of the Rotary meeting the day before or morning of the meeting. So there's no actual planning or, getting into the actual Rotary Club meeting. As a president, I think it is important to plan a club meeting every week. You just cannot take things for granted. In the sense that you have to plan yourself. It's all about planning and implementing it, and then you find that your members appreciate you because you have planned a proper club meeting and start on time, finish on time. I think that should be the key word. And if you need in some of these clubs, what they do is before they actually do the agenda, they discuss the agenda. So before the start of the meeting, you could possibly say today's agenda is this. Is there anybody who would like to insert something into the agenda? We could possibly do that when we have the time, or we will find the time for that. So you give the responsibility to the club members as well. So because as a president, you should not take on the full responsibility of the club. You must have the art of sharing, caring, and of course, implementing it and giving them the responsibility that they are also responsible for the club meeting. In other words, it's ownership to the club and the meeting. So once they know that they have a role to play or something important to do, they will definitely be part of your team. So I think it is important when we do that. Now we get on to our slide. I don't know if you can see that. Running on your meetings, as I said, the importance of planning, the agenda, and the venue, and everything has to be laid out. There are 1 or 2 clubs in our district which does it for a whole year. I remember the Rotary Club from Kulu. Anyone here? Kulu used to do that for many years. In their club inspection program, they had the program for the year laid out. The board meetings, the club meetings, the committee meetings, everything laid out for a year. They used to do that for many years. I'm not sure whether they're still doing it, but that's a good practice. So in other words, you know exactly what's going to happen on to the next week's meeting, or in 2 weeks' time, or when is the board meeting, or things like that. So it's all about coming up with a calendar of your events for that particular year. Okay, so those are good practices. So if you look at the next one is basically on the club administration committee itself. Anybody would like to share some thoughts on that? The club admin committee, what's its responsibility? Go on. Yeah, please. I have a mic. Okay.
Okay. Organize speakers for the club meetings. Also planning refreshments for the members, confirming numbers of members attending the meeting.
Okay.
Also sending out notice in advance. Our club admin actually sends out a notice of all meetings for the month ahead of in the first week of every month.
Okay, good. Anybody else like to share something on how you do it in your clubs? The role of the club admin director.
Can I share? This is from, my name is Rajendra from the Rotary Club of Kuala Lumpur de Raja.
Okay.
May I, PDG?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, club admin, as many clubs understand it, is the backbone of the Rotary Club. It basically plans and executes what the club is meant to do, direction the club is meant to go. And it also should have many subcommittees in the club admin. And the main ones are, well, membership, public image, public relations, fellowship. The honorary secretary and treasurer also comes from the, also belong to club admin. Bulletin editor, venue chairman, program chairman, fellowship desk chairman, attendance chairman, club directory chairman for many clubs who have a club directory, Rotary information chairman, this is for purposes of induction of new members, name tax chairman, sergeant at arms. I think this is essentially what a club admin should constitute. Thanks.
Thank you. I agree with you, but the question is, depends on the size of your Rotary clubs.
Yes, absolutely, that's right.
So it depends on membership again, right? So if you have a strong club, or you have a club with a lot of members, you can, of course, share the workload. But otherwise, it's back to the club chairman and maybe be working together with the club secretary and working with the fellowship chairman. You can then plan that particular club activities as well, including the social meetings or the Zoom meetings, the virtual meetings, fireside meetings, fellowship meetings. All that could be possibly put together and worked out. There again, it all depends how you're going to do that. One suggestion that I have is do a SWOT analysis of your club. You're the president-elect at the moment. At this moment of time, before you take office, do an analysis of your club membership. What is the strength? What's the weakness? What are the opportunities? And who are the threats of that particular club? So once you go into the club, you already know that this man is, or this rotated is very good on club bulletins. I'm going to ask him to be the bulletin editor. I already know that this guy is very good on fellowships. So I'm going to get him to do the fellowships. So don't give a responsibility to someone who does not have that passion to do that particular job. Then you find it quite difficult to work with that person. And remember, once you appoint, it's very difficult in the midstream to change that particular person. Unless you have a membership base of 100 or 50 or 60, and then you can say that if you don't have a KPI, you're not working, then we will have to reconsider your appointment. You know what I mean? So unless you have that strength, you can do that. But averagely in our clubs, most of our clubs are below 20 and 10, and some are even struggling. Some have a board meeting every week because they only have 3 members, you know, so, or 4 members, or 5 members, so particularly the board meeting every week. So it all depends how you do the analysis and do that now itself because you still have time. Before you appoint your board coming December, you work on these numbers, work on these strengths, and then you can find that you have a team that will work with you. No, don't just appoint somebody for the sake of appointing or appoint someone just to fill a vacancy. Okay, let's move on. Creating and engaging a club experience. Anybody would like to share some thoughts on that? How do you create and engage people in a club experience? Right? You.
Thank you, PD. Okay, this may take a little bit longer than I mean what we asked to speak, but in Rotary Club of Kajang, we actually have preempted most of the activities we want to do for 3 years. We did a SWOT analysis of the club. I am still the chair for strategic planning. So we had a committee of 6 people. Again, the selected people were people who were active in the club, both senior and junior members, some past presidents and some just Rotarians. So we had several meetings. I think about 6 to 7 meetings. We started off with the club with the SWOT analysis. What were the strengths of the club? Then the weaknesses, the opportunities that lie in our community. And then we came up with, using the SWOT analysis, we came up with a vision and a mission statement for the club in line with Rotary International. In line. Not exactly the same, but the basic principles were the same, but based on the community that we live in. So based on that SWOT analysis, basically the strengths, the opportunities we saw in Kajang and the surrounding area, we came up with short-term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals. Then we broke it down to the different levels of the chairs, the office bearers, and each office bearer would know what are his mid-term, what are his short-term projects, his mid-term projects, and his long-term projects. So it's all planned for 3 years. But it's a dynamic document which can change. You can add on, you can take out. So everyone in the club, the chairs know what they need to do over this year, next year, and the year after. So that is how we came up with, like for example, to make the meeting more entertaining, we
The screen is frozen for Zoomers.
Yeah, we can't hear nor see anything. We still can't hear anything, huh? Pushpa, can you hear?
No, we can't hear
No,
anything.
can't hear anything. Yeah, I think their mic is out already.
No, we can't see anything.
It seems like they are going on with the program.
Yeah.
I'm checking with them.
Sometimes they don't realize that our side is gone.
Somebody should be monitoring.
Yeah, I'm trying to check with them.
Okay. You're back.
Sorry, we got locked out for a while.
Okay, let's go on. You know, one of the advantages of the new club models of the new club flexibility plan is, as a president, you can designate your club meetings. Look at it very carefully. It's only when you want to make a decision of the club, then the president chairs the meeting, and then a decision is made. But otherwise, we encourage at the last meeting of the month, or the 2 meetings, or the fellowship meetings, in the club chairs that meeting. You know what I mean? Because there's no decision made. It is just a sharing a meeting. We're having a speaker, we're having a fun speaker. After this, we're having fellowship, we're having drinks, we are going to be happy. So you're sharing the responsibility among the members of the club. One of the reasons why members leave the club is for the simple reason that they are not involved in the club activities. So getting them to commit and to get them involved in the running of the club is extremely important. Because today, the club flexibility plan has given you that option. Okay, it's only when a decision has to be made, then of course the president takes over, regular meetings come in, then the decision Because somebody had a question. Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead. Is it working?
Okay, just to share a little bit on how our club engaged the club member experience, some few points. To make it quick, other than the fellowship that we will do like on a monthly basis, once a month, we also have, suddenly my mind go blank. No, we actually have our club membership director actually to also do a survey with the club member and try to understand what is their liking, how satisfied are they feeling. This is also guided by the My Rotary. That's a guideline of what are kind of questions that we can ask. Then we study and discuss together to do a club health check. And then apart from that, we also will invite the experienced member to come and give a talk about their vocational experience as well. Like every quarter we invite a Rotarian.
Okay, thanks. Because
Yeah, thanks.
we're running out of time. One other area that you have to look is the membership satisfaction survey. Either your membership chair or one of your under club admin, you have to do that. Right? Would like to do that? You said we got 5 minutes?
No, for your slot.
Oh, my session. Okay. I thought you asked me to wind up. Okay, let's move on.
PDG Arasu, Rajay from the Zoomers has raised the hand to ask you a question.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. What's the question?
Good evening, everybody. Well, actually, going back to what we were just discussing, what we do at Rotary Club of Malawati is something I'd like to share. But before that, I'd like to say getting people involved, getting members involved more than anything, like how our DGE says, every member must learn how to enjoy Rotary. Okay, only if they know that Rotary is fun and you're able to enjoy, will we be able to do anything else for the others. So at our place, we do very good prayers and we make it a point to tell members that you pray in your own way, in whatever way you deem fit. And we have something even more better. We do something called a laughing therapy at the start itself. And this really engages people. And, you know, especially like a Wednesday, everybody is working and coming back, you're exhausted and all, but the laughing therapy helps. It brings us together. And the fact that we are enjoying time together within that 1-2 hours, it actually makes people relax to give out their ideas. And we make them feel important by taking everybody's idea in whichever area they think they can contribute. So this makes sure that all members are engaged and they stay longer and happier.
Thank you. I think her suggestion is having the laughing therapy in the clubs. Previously, like I showed you a slide, they used to have Rotary songs in the club. You know, everybody gets together, they sing, you know, kind of builds up a kind of a spirit as well. But you have to see what is best for your clubs. Now you have to get back to your clubs and see what is best for them. Because certain things will work for certain groups of people, you know. Okay, let's go on. The other one is on club assemblies. Can somebody tell me quickly on club assemblies? What are club assemblies and why is it important to have club assemblies? I think Leslie did touch, but anyway, go ahead. There's a mic. Come, please. It is
It's a closed door event for you to iron out anything within the club. So usually it's only involved those like members or directors only, but not to the guests.
not to?
To the guests.
Yeah.
Because it's like an internal family matter that you need to iron out within the principle of Rotary.
Good. Now, when do you suggest that you should have your club assemblies?
Every quarterly.
Quarterly. So when it should be the first club assembly? The first club assembly, when it should be? Pardon?
Yeah, during after July, during July
Yeah, so once you take office, okay, then your first meeting of the club should be a club assembly. Okay, or you do it before you take over office. Either way. Okay, then only you know exactly in which direction your club is moving. You know, so if you have a doubt or if you have certain things that you want to get the views of the members, get the feedback, don't have a member and try to do those, have an idea and try to do those things. Because sometimes those things don't work in a service organization. Remember, we are volunteers in a service organization that pays a subscription. So now you go back and analyze what I say, Anyway, let me stop here since most of you know exactly club assemblies. Remember, 4 times a year. Previously, there was no minutes for a club assembly. But of recent, there's been some changes. You're allowed to take minutes of club assemblies. Okay? There was a change in the policy statements. And then, of course, we don't like guests to come into the club assemblies. It's more of an internal matter. And you have one, of course, later when the governor visits the club. There's also a club assembly. So you can have more than 4 if you want. It all depends the needs of the particular club. Okay? Anything else on club assemblies? All understand, huh? Right, come. Let's do some Q&A.
One more.
One more. I wanted to give you more time. All right, governor's visit. There's a lot to talk on this, isn't it? On the governor's visit. How important it is on governor's visit. Is it important? Why is it important? Why? Mike, please.
No, it's not.
Quickly, we don't have much time.
Health state of the club,
Okay,
audit of your accounts,
okay,
number of membership, the activity of the members.
okay.
Also,
What is
informing the
most important?
members of the latest updates from RI, what are the districts, objective and goals as well.
Okay, I'm looking for something else. Anything else? Come on, quickly. Huh? The DG gets to know your club. Come on.
Achieving presidential citations.
What is a vibrant club? Okay, no, I'm looking for something else. Come on. What is the role of the governor when it comes to your club?
To get to know the DG.
There's no DG now.
Indirect, and I mean, I see.
You see, okay, I agree with what you say. But what's most important for the governor is that the governor should motivate the Rotarians when he comes to those clubs. So because when they go for their training in now it's been going to go to Orlando, at the training there's a lot of levels of motivation, a lot of levels of inspiring the governors to take the message back to the clubs. So when he visits your club, his address, the way he talks, is going to present, has to motivate the Rotarians and inspire them. And of course, he has got this checklist that he has to go through, which he does. And the other one is he spends 1 full day in that particular Rotary club. Don't have the experience I had 20 years ago when I went to a club. The first thing the guy asked me, "What time are you leaving, sir?" I'm telling you, it happened to me. That's why I still remember after 20 over years. So you see, these things should not happen. Okay? So plan the year, because sometimes you want the governor to visit certain important people, maybe certain past presidents, the charter presidents, people who have contributed to the club, but they're no more members. Find time for them. These are ways you can motivate them and bring them back to your club. They might not be able physically, but financially they might support your clubs because you took the time and the trouble. You see, we take a lot of things for granted, but we do not appreciate the people who have given their time for that particular Rotary club. Now, parents of the interactors, I've always been saying that parents of interactors, Rotaractors, every time the child finishes a Rotaract meeting, gets into the club or the interact meeting, the first thing father will ask, what do you all do at Rotary meetings? What is happening at interact clubs? But we have never exposed the parents of these people to the governor's visit. If possible, have a session with the parents and the governor for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Remember, he has 1 full day with your club. He will, of course, come back second round if he wants to. I think I went around second round because we had only 60 odd clubs at that time. So we did the second round to help clubs that were having certain issues. You know, you don't take up issues at club meetings. So you come, discuss, inspire, motivate the givings. In case he wants to do some Paul Harris recognition, he can also do that at that particular club. You know, he can do a lot of things at the club. So use the governance visit very, plan it well, use it very usefully for the club. And of course, he is there to motivate the members. Everyone needs motivation, right? Whichever level you serve, the motivation levels are very high. The Rotary International's president himself has more than 1 hour of motivational addresses. You know, he goes to a rehearsal, he goes to a presentation, he's got videos playing behind him as he speaks. Everything is planned because he has to inspire the 450 governors. Same thing, our governor has to inspire all of us. Okay, that's it. Brief. Thank you. So let's move on.
Thank you, thank you. So, bees, are you with us? I want to hear yes. One more time, yes. Are you all okay? Very quiet. Okay, I got last 2 slides, probably last 2 slides, yeah, because Akul is there. You know why he's standing there? To make sure we finish on time. Right, so next slide. Sorry. All right, club meetings, right? How many types or how many format club meetings are there? Do you know? Oh, the age is good, huh? How many types? 2. What is that? 2. Hans, what is it? No. How many types or how many format of club meetings? Regular meeting is 1. Fellowship, huh? Okay, fellowship is categorized under other social events. Fellowship, yes. Okay, 2. No. Let's see. Right, first one, let's talk about regular meetings. All right, regular meeting. What's a regular meeting? All right, either you have 4 in a month, or you have fortnightly to a month, right? So those are regular meetings. So what we are talking about here is what you can do to make it interesting. If you remember Jennifer Jones' video earlier, she said something. She said people don't remember what you tell them, but they remember. Exactly, you are the only one listening to the video. All right, thank you. Okay, so please listen to all the videos. We'll do pop quiz there, here and there, right? Yeah, they will remember how you make them feel. That's not only for the guests, it's also for the members. They are the most important asset of the club. Why? Membership development, membership retention, fundraising, new project ideas, participation, engagement. Where does it come from? Starts from a good meeting. You know, they spend their time, they spend their effort to be at the meeting. They have to go back happy. Right? PDG Arasu mentioned earlier, when do president think about meeting? In the morning or the day before. Same with the members, right? No. The board members, the club admin, everyone, every single position, they have to look forward for the meeting. When they look forward for the meeting, they plan for the meeting. Sorry, they plan for the meeting, right? That's when you will have a very effective and productive meeting. All right, let's look at that very quickly. All right, use meeting time to plan for activities and projects. Offer members option to participate in discussion. That means not from the start to the end. It's all about president. Or it's not all about board members reporting. The reporting can be done where? At the board meeting, right? And you can just give an update to the members. So give opportunity for members to discuss, talk, and give their opinion. That's when they feel they are important. They are welcomed. If they feel that way, what happens? They'll attend the next meeting, right? Attendance will be good. All right, next, I'm just going to pick a few because as we talk, we are touching and all that. And meeting themes. Look at that. Give each meeting a different theme. How many clubs here have meeting themes? Theme, yeah, H. Theme. you done any club meeting themes? Yeah. The club that comes into my mind, talk about meeting theme is Melawati. By the way, I'm not buttering our DG, but yes, they have done this Hawaiian meeting, hats meeting. Oh, you heard me, huh?
Yes, I heard you.
Yes, we have varieties of names to our
Right,
meetings.
dress up, they sit at the meeting, even virtual meeting. You know, imagine one person dress up and sit in the meeting with no one around you and you're having the meeting. But it gives you the energy, right? Everyone there, look at each other, it gives energy. So you can have team meetings. Or you can follow the Rotary calendar. What month is this? November. What month is November? Foundation. Right? And what most of us do? We invite someone to talk about Chia. Right? Is that interesting? Yeah, it should be interesting. It's our foundation, yes. But you can make it more interesting by throwing themes. Even the speaker who wants to speak is so happy to see such a large crowd. Gives the energy. Energy is both sides, not just the member, also for the speaker. So when I speak, you have to smile or nod your head. Yeah, thanks. Can keep doing that. All right, so think about that. Have themes in your meeting. Nothing wrong in that. Rotate meeting locations. 2 years we didn't have meeting. Right, and then members want to have meeting, or members, they must meet physically. Right? But now we can't go back. The venue is no more. Or you reduce the club fee. The club subscription. So you can't go to any location. So rotate members' houses. Right? So you can rotate. How many are we doing hybrid meeting here? You guys know what is hybrid? Hybrid is online and physical. Only 2 clubs here. Yeah, that's the option now, slowly to go back to normal. All right, let's move to social events, the fellowships. All right, someone spoke of fellowship. Yes, it comes under social event. So when you do hybrid, right, you can, for example, if you meet every week, you can have 3+1. That means 3 virtual regular meetings and 1 fellowship, physical fellowship. In a restaurant or member's house, you can take turn. Every month, a member host or do potluck. You know, that's good. Members' house. Remember firesides earlier? Those days, firesides were so popular, every club. Nowadays, we don't hear that anymore. All right? Bring that back. That brings members together. All right, Sakura is still smiling, so I can still go. All right? Another time is networking and training events. Networking, like you can invite business owners around your area. For example, Burnham Valley, right? They can invite all the business entrepreneurs, professionals around the area and call it a business networking meeting. There's nothing wrong in that. Right? They have opportunity for members to meet new contacts and also for the guests to come to see the other part of Rotary, to network, to know more people. And trainings to enhance member skills. Because we say membership, one of the membership benefits is for members to learn leadership, to develop their personal skills, right? We say that, but what do we do? Right? So organize something, invite someone to talk about leadership, or invite someone to talk about social skills. Right? It's good, because if we build our members get stronger, what do? They make the club stronger. The club meetings gets better, and they invite more, better contacts to come as guests, and it helps membership development. Right? And the next one is service project. It's also a format, meeting format. Example, if you have a project on Saturday, maybe you can not cancel, but you can replace the meeting for the week with the project. Right? So members don't feel the pinch of coming twice a week. With now everyone is going back to work, trying to adjust and build back. So Rotary meetings shouldn't be a burden to them. Right? So nothing wrong with that. Okay, so these are the 4 types of formats. Right? Why I'm rushing? Because I want to give you this. I want to divide you into 4 groups. So group 1. Not balanced. And then put you in breakout rooms. You're Zoom. You take question 1, right? So you 6 of you. Last night, in fact, 6 of you, yeah. Right? And you also question 1. Get? Get? Question 1, 2. All of you 2.
Raj, can you involve the Zoomers also?
Again. I'll put them in breakout rooms. Right? Question 3. 1, you go to 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 until here 1 group, and all of you 1 group. Yeah? Question 4. And Zoomers, due to time constraint, I can't put you in breakout room, but tomorrow I'll promise you I'll put you in breakout room.
As long as you don't break us up, Raj, we are fine.
But Zoomers, you can choose the question, right? You can choose the question, you can share later, right? Okay, so question 1. How can your club vary meetings to get members excited about coming to how to attend, coming for meeting? How do you make members excited to come for meeting? That means if the meeting is Wednesday, Tuesday they're already there at the venue, right? They're excited. Okay, so these 2 groups, yeah? Just discuss with social distancing, with masks on, please, and just write it on a piece of paper and nominate a person to share later. Question 2. What does your club do at club assembly and how are they different from club meeting? If you're paying attention, it was on the screen earlier, right? 2. Oh, there's question 3. Oh, okay. So you take 3, right? From what the MLTs, right? MLTs until Param, right? Until Param, question 3. How can you prepare for and involve members for governance visit? How do you make them do, again, attend? And question 4, it's a very long one. How do you plan meeting to observe the Rotary calendar? Can be Rotary calendar or can be World Cancer Day or something. It's a special occasion. Can? Boleh? Can I tell me? Come. Right? Let's take a piece of paper. Just put it in point form.
What do you think, man?
There's a meeting. Social distancing, mask on. So those on Zoom, you can answer any of the questions. If your club is already doing something about it, you can put it down, share with us. 5 minutes only, yeah? Assistant governors, you can help the bees. If your own bees are not here, you can help other bees. Yeah, also your children. Help the kids.
Raji, I sent you a message.
Okay.
Chat, under chat.
Guys, is someone doing a question? Sending each other messages.
Changing themes, locations, as well as having speakers coming to meetings.
Malawatians, are we having a chat about these questions in the chat group? Looks like we are the only ones talking.
Okay.
That's the usual case, no?
Yeah. So I'm like seeing, okay, which one?
I think Zoomers, you all can share your opinions among yourselves. And then
Among your group
No,
presidents.
basically what I said was, earlier at club assemblies, just you can explain to them what we do in club assemblies. We have it monthly. We call it
business
Raj,
meeting, right?
Yeah, business meeting. Raj, maybe you can talk to all your presidents in the chat group who are in here.
They talk about gathering.
So while they are discussing there, you all can discuss here, and then one of you can be like a
But the
spokesman,
thing
can
is,
answer out
everybody
also, can answer
everybody
aloud.
can hear us. you
Or
see.
Raj can just
Message.
share it on the chat, share it now so that all his club presidents and also the other PEs can hear. It's okay, what? Right?
Yeah.
I don't think we are disturbing the main hall that much because they seem to be quite actively involved.
Maybe all the presidents can put their answers down on the chat and then let them see.
Sorry guys, Zoomers, I'd like to comment on Raji's chat. Yes, we'll take note of that. But tomorrow for 2 sessions, we're going to put you on in breakout rooms. So you'll be very involved tomorrow. We're going to put you in breakout rooms and we're going to give you tasks.
That'll be nice. Thank you.
So please, you are sharing whether the answer. Arrange interesting speaker for club meetings. Yeah, that's good. Maybe you can add on to say a speaker relating to a theme or a special observation for the month, or Rotary calendar observation.
If all the PEs can answer any of the questions on chat, then they will pick it up.
PEs in the room, 3 more minutes.
So one of the things, like to question one of the things that was advantageous during Zoom meetings was that we could get speakers from almost anywhere, really, literally anywhere. We could get them to Zoom in as a guest speaker. So that was actually very helpful, wasn't it?
Yeah. And we also had themed meetings.
Yes. Themed meetings. Yeah. It was nice of Raj to mention us.
Yeah.
Shanti,
And also when you go to number 2,
yes,
we have a monthly club assembly.
Right.
Or rather, we call it business meeting or club
Business
assembly.
meeting.
Correct.
Yeah.
Most
And
clubs
what
have it
we
quarterly,
normally
right?
do that after a board meeting. We share what the board, whatever
All
came,
board decisions.
And then
Is
we
it
open
only
it up
board
to them.
decisions, Raj?
No. One of the things we do is board decisions, lah.
But this is also where the members bring out their grievances.
Yes,
right?
after the board decisions, we close and we get them to open up for board.
Grievances,
Yes.
ideas.
Yes.
everybody
Yeah.
gets a-
Not
Good and
finding
bad.
fault.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
not finding
improve.
fault, but to improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The first one,
Ah.
how can your club vary meetings to get members thing? We're already doing it, varieties of things.
Yes,
Correct.
correct.
Yeah.
Teams
for
and all
me-
that. Yeah, you're saying. Yeah.
And for me, I think having anyone who's good in, like how we have Suren, who's quite catchy and advertising and sending catchy messages, keeping the crowd entertained and wanting to find out why it's what is happening, that theme of that excitement, that would be that.
Raji, you
And,
need to put it on the chat, otherwise they won't pick
That's
it
why
up.
I don't know whether, that's why I'm asking whether we should put it here. Nobody's reading it. I don't think anyone is reading
You
and
put it on the
commenting
chat,
on
let
it.
them see, they will pick it up.
Other PEs on Zoom, feel free to give your views, please. You all are here. A lot of you all on Zoom are PEs. Feel free to share your views.
Yeah.
It's all part of being
Either you
participation.
can either type it out or you can ask the questions later. Feel free. Like Rajendra did a very good questioning that time. Very good.
Yeah, the other Ps can share how they do it in their clubs, in their respective clubs. Like number 3, what do we do? Our club, we usually get people take charge of certain areas, right?
Let's wrap this up.
Okay. Back to the main
You
hall.
can just speak, can just speak only, explain only.
Yeah, only, well, the PE is
I
like
wish
any
they'll
of the
stop
PE.
highlighting me and keeping us there.
Just a pretty
All right,
face
so
lah.
the first question, how can your club vary? Club meeting vary to get members excited to attend. Who wants to go? 20 seconds.
Me, RCM.
Guys, attention please.
Zoomers.
Bennett, mute them.
You can hear?
Hurry up again, cheeky, and say prepare the best food ever.
So with regards to the first discussion, we just how clubs vary their meetings, get members more excited. So we go by, first of all, is of course themes, whether we are doing the celebrations of Chinese New Year or Diwali or Raya, having those dinner fellowships, or just a general dinner fellowship, having a barbecue night, things like that. Changing the locations. We can have a meeting at a bowling alley. There's one, I think in KL, which is based on a badminton group. So they have their badminton and then they have their meetings. So in that way, we can also incorporate, let's go to a bowling alley. Let's go to karaoke.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah, you can vary it. If you can play sports, you can also go there.
I'm sure we'll be happy ending meeting.
We can have speakers. In my club, we've been doing that. We've got business people coming in, medical people coming in. We've also got our own members coming in and speaking on their vocation. One of our members said, get a member or group of members to a performance, whether it's a band, whether it's miming or poetry, it doesn't matter. Something that an individual member is participating in. Vocational visits. We've got a member, our club secretary, he's got a factory which is actually bioenvironmental. So we've had a visit to his factory. Appreciation days. We can have a day where it's just for the members, appreciate them. Okay. Games. Again, bowling alley, darts. Of course, you want to go for a good club crawl, pub crawl. That's a different issue altogether. But it encourages them to just be in a changing environment all the time.
Yeah, nice. Thank you. Thank you. So, do you agree? Right? A Rotary meeting doesn't have to be in a hotel room where you sit in this shade and talk. You don't have to be like that. It can be once a month, you can do that, an official, formal meeting. And the other meeting for the month or the other 3 meetings, you can do that. I like sports, right? It's nice, it's working. Rotary Club Raman Putra, they play badminton, and with their shots, they sit on the court, they'll have a short meeting about a project. Why not? Right? Why not? And the other thing I like was the appreciation, members' appreciation. Let's say you have a member for the last 3 months, sponsored 4 members, for example. And that's a big thing, huh? 4 members or 5. All right? So just do a dinner, right? The particular member don't have to pay for the meal. That's the reward. Or you can give a small trophy as a president, right? So if you do that, imagine how the member will feel. The next 3 months, you're going to get another 4, right? You will, right? What is all about appreciating, recognizing, to encourage them to do more. Yeah, nice. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ring. All right, next one. Same question number 1. How different can you make the meeting to make the members excited? Who's presenting? Oh, you together? Yeah. Next time I'll create a slide on this, yeah? When I say group 1, group 2, you have to do it yourself. Eh? All right, well done, too. Well done. So, right? Good. All right, who's going to go? Who's going to talk? Oh, yeah. Dinesh. All right. Dinesh, you are strictly given 20 seconds. Present your case. Start.
Assemblies and club meetings. It's pretty much of club meetings like a normal service to a car. Assemblies is looking like a major checkup for a car. There's a reason why I'm saying car because of the experience. For example, for assemblies, it's much more major. Directors give reports of projects that have been done and review of projects, and also foresee projections of the projects to be done throughout maybe 6 months or quarterly, and so on. And some assemblies involve DG visits also to update DG what we have been doing and what the review of the project, and also get some guidelines and as PDG also said, motivation from the DG who visits on the projects, if we have project on the club. Also, making sure that the club is on a proper check and balance every maybe 3 or 4 times a year. Whereas regular meetings is more to, I kind of summarize into 3: updates, announcement, bonding, updates on projects that has been done, updates on the status of projects, announcement of projects that are going to be taken place, or whatever events are taking place, and so on. Bonding, like for example, given an example by last moment early, like team meetings, fun meetings and all that, like Subang has recently had a meeting where we have to identify flags and so on, making sure members and also guests are introduced to the fun factor of the club. So regular is more peripheral, assembly is more core.
Nice. Agree? All agree? Yeah. I don't elaborate on that because earlier Leslie touched on it and Arasu touched on it. You got it right? Yeah? All right. Thank you. Yeah. The second time he rings the bell, you're losing 1 dish for dinner later, right? Each one. All right, question number 3 was, how can you prepare involved members for governance visit? That's the right. You go on, right? Okay. Yeah, go on, bro.
Good afternoon, everybody. In order to do the DG visit, we are guided by the district handbook checklist. And what we do is we get the members involved in assisting the board of directors in their reports by giving feedback on whatever projects that is being done, whatever future projects and whatever not. And then when we do the planning of the DG's activity for the day, what we can do is assign duties for the activity in the morning, in the afternoon, evening, including the interactors meeting and whatever not, and also the night meeting. So each member will be given a particular task so that we see that the whole club, all the members are totally involved in the project. And lastly, we delegate a task, as what I said earlier, we delegate a task, and it can be like for where the lady Rotaryans look after the spouses of PG, or even like whatever for the whole day. Spouse. You heard that? Sorry.
Yes, I heard that.
All that activities, so that members overall get involved in the activities for the DGBC.
All right, so it's simple. Just set up a committee, have a long checklist, assign tasks to every member. So they'll feel welcome, they feel very involved, and they will attend, right? Okay, let's go to the last one. Sorry guys, 3 seconds, yeah.
Thank you. We are answering the question there. How and what can you do to make the meeting relevant and interesting? So this is the consensus from a few of us here. As for Rotary Fellowship Month, we suggest an off-site meeting. So we will be probably at a resort where we have our family members with us. The meeting is conducted, then we have fellowship with the family members. That is one way of making things interesting. Right, guys? Yeah. The next one is membership and new club development. This one, the sponsors and the new members, we honor them for that month by giving them something for the sponsor as well as the new members. So we appreciate the sponsors for bringing in new members, and in line with Shaker's 1+1, so we encourage the rest to do the same. So there's something in it for you for bringing a new member to the club. Yeah. And then for Rotary Foundation, we came up with 2. One is that we do something for crowdfunding. I think we had it in Rotary Club of Kajang. And then we also have the DRF, and we invite final year students from universities around to attend some of our meetings and talk to them about Rotary.
Nice, nice. Well done, well done. Or you can sell polio chocolates. Yeah, usually. And so one thing I want to add, in all the fellowships or events that you do, not try, involve rotractors and interactors. Also, it's very important. Let's say you go for bowling, it's a daytime, then you can include the interactors. And I have a trophy for them. Right? If you go, someone mentioned about singing and dancing, you can involve the rotractors too. Right? That's how we bridge the gap. Right? Okay, guys, I'd like to conclude this by with the Zoomers. Like what Raji said, happy members, happy club, happy governor, welcome all members, happy. Right? That's very important. Right? Happy meetings, happy members, happy attendance. And who at the end will be happy? You, President. Right? You'll be satisfied. Right? So with that, thank you very much. Thank you.
Lord Raj,
Right,
that was wonderful.
yes, I agree. Buddy system is important. All right, guys, take note. Can you scroll up a bit further? That's a lot. That's a bit. All right. So thank you, guys. Due to constraint of time, thank you for your comments. And back to you, Mr. MC.